I'm just waiting for it to flower. It hasn't flowered for me yet, but golden barrels, they need to have a certain age and size before they will start flowering, and that's how you know that you have a mature golden barrel, if they do start to flower. Okay, from this golden barrel, I have a little bit of pots there of cactus underneath this tree. So I have a few pots underneath this tree, but I actually like the way the cacti are growing here underneath this tree. It gets early morning sun, and then in the middle of the day, the tree would provide dappled shade, and then late in the afternoon, for about an hour or maybe less, they would get hit by late afternoon sun in this direction. So they are actually growing. The cacti that I placed here grew very well. Say for example, this Parodia autonis, when I had this in the rack, I guess it wasn't receiving enough sunlight and it wasn't flowering, but as soon as I place it in here, I was surprised. Look at all the buds that it produced. Same as this one. So this one too, since I placed it in here, it started producing flower buds. So that is one thing, you know, guys, if your cacti are not flowering, try to give them a little bit more sun. Not too much that they will burn, but as much as they can take, it will make them flower. Okay, see, ooh, this one has flower buds as well. This is a Cactus semi-patanus. Wow, they're loaded with buds. This one is more of orange color, and I know the other one is more of a red color. Okay, and another terracotta pot here with a few different types. This is a Cactus, the silver torch. This is a Trichocereus that recently gave me blooms. That is another Trichocereus with orange flowers. Okay, and then down here I have a variegated Opuntia. This is Opuntia sunburst. I place it in here for it to get a little bit more shade. If you have variegated cacti, they need protection from direct sunlight, so give them more shade. Okay, and then moving up here, so I have a couple of pots of hanging cacti in this tree. So this one is a monkey's tail. I got this one from Rob Roy. It is growing very long and growing lots of pops, but it hasn't flowered for me. I don't know what is wrong, or maybe it's not old enough to flower yet. So, but it is growing very well. It looks healthy. And then this one is a rat's tail. I don't seem to have good luck when it comes to hanging cacti. I can't make them flower. This one always gets dehydrated in the summer and in the winter, and when this gets dehydrated, what is interesting is it cuts off its own segment. See here, it is trying to like amputate its arm. Later on, this will get cut off or amputated by itself, and this would fall, and I would just try to stick it in there. That's why I have plenty. So when it gets dehydrated, it just cuts off its arm. See here, it cut off an arm in there, and this one popped. So when I bought this, it was in flower, but ever since I took care of it, I haven't made it flower yet. So I think these types, the hanging types, likes more humidity. Okay, but fingers crossed that someday they will flower. Here in this terracotta bowl, this is the Cactus acanthodes, also known as Cactus cylindraceus. So this is another one that I bought that came with the desert flora tag. So unfortunately, you know, this was growing in the desert here in Nevada, but unfortunately, due to city developments, they had to take them off the habitat. But fortunately, we have laws here in Nevada, so the Department of Forestry protects these native cacti, so the owners cannot just simply take them off and throw them away. So they have, the Department of Forestry actually collects them, puts the yellow tag on them. That means they are legal to be harvested and sold to the public. So this is one of those that I purchased here, and I planted it in this terracotta pot last fall. So it seemed to be growing because the barrel actually got fatter. But it has no flowers as of now. When I bought this, it had fruits on it, so that means this is already flowering age. But I guess all it is doing now is growing roots and getting settled in the pot, so no flower buds for this year. And then here up against the wall, wow, these Opuntia Ficus indica are really putting out a growth spurt. These, I've already started grilling some of the pads. Delicious! This is the pad that you grill, the young ones, the one with no thick spines yet or hard spines. So these are very soft. So this is the kind that I grill. Delicious. And then at the back in here, ooh, I see a pop of color in here. There is a trichocereus that is in bloom for today. No ID, but very striking magenta pink color on this one. Wow. And then there is another bud on its way over there. This is an Echinopsis pachanoi that a cutting that I got from my friend. I planted it there last year in the fall. So I think it has rooted because it has grown a little bit. And let me see if I can walk through here. Okay, this is another Trichocereus. I haven't seen the flower in this one. So hopefully this year, or maybe not. I think it's too small to flower. Okay, this Ficus indica, this likes a lot of water. I am still on a once a week watering. Whoo, look at this rose quartz, Camelobevia. It's a cross between a Chamaecyreus and a Lobevia. It is packed with flower buds. Wow. I've had a few that already opened in here, but ooh, that will be a show in the next few days. And this one, this is, I can never pronounce the name of it, but ever since I planted this in here last year, it lost its leaves and it was just sticks on the ground. I wasn't even sure if it was alive, but now in spring it has leafed out. Finally it has leaves, so that tells me it is alive. So this one grows very, very tall. I know Laura Eubanks has this one and I can never say the name or pronounce the name, so I will just show it to you on the screen. So according to her, give this water and it will leaf out. I've been giving this water during winter, but it was dormant, but now it has started to leaf out and it looks so pretty now. Okay, and then in here I have another flower. This is another Trichocereus, pure white one. I just love white, pure white flowers. Gives me a sense of peace when I look at them. Wow, it has no fragrance though. Would have been nice if it has a fragrance, but very lovely. And then over here, okay, so this not looking good, but ooh, I see something in there. So I think it's finally developing new pads. And then this is the Trichocereus with orange flowers. I don't see any buds on it yet, though it has a lot of pops. And another Opuntia here. This one has put out a lot of buds, but I think it needs more water. Okay, what else? Oh, here behind me, if you can remember this is the variegated agave, Ferdinand agave, I think. Yeah, that I got from Desert Theater last year. This is variegated, believe it or not, but as you can see, you can hardly tell that it is variegated. This is the effect when you put a variegated plant out in full sun. This is my mistake. I am thinking of actually digging this out and maybe putting it back in a pot and putting it somewhere where it is sheltered from the sun. because it's still there. The variegation is still there, but it has turned almost all green. So lesson learned. If you have a variegated plant, even though they can withstand sun like agave, do not expose them to full sun because they lose their variegation. All right, so yeah, maybe I think I will dig this out and just put it in a pot. Okay, and then in here there is something new on this side, but let me get out of this area first. Hop over the fence. Okay, so this section here, I used to have a rose in here, but the rose unfortunately didn't make it last winter, and instead I dug it out and I planted this golden torch cactus in here. This is the one that I got from Cactus Joe early this year, so I decided to plant it in here, and looks like, oops, I just knocked down the fence, oops. Anyway, so it looks like it's going to be okay in here because look, I see that it has produced a pop in there. This has been in the ground for 3 weeks now, and then I decided to put my white spined Echinocactus grusonii here in a talavera pot. So hopefully this section here will thrive. This part gets a lot of sun during the summer. I might have to, protect it with a shade cloth this year since I just recently planted this in the ground. Now we are in another section of my backyard. This is the very first cactus or desert garden that I made. Here on the left is tall cactus. This is a Trichocereus candy cans that produced 2 large white flowers last year. No buds this year yet. And then this here at the bottom right, this is a claret cup cactus. I don't know what kind of cactus this one is, the purple opuntia, but this one is the claret cup cactus that has orange flowers. And then here, this, I got this from Cactus Joe too, and this is a Santa Rita opuntia. And then in front of it, an agave. This is a Ferdinandi Regis agave. At the center, this is a totem pole cactus, totally spineless. This is one cactus you can hold without getting pricked. And then in front, I have some Opuntia aurea, and then behind it is a Pencil choya. Another agave right there. That one is the agave Perii truncata. And then in front of it, I have one here that isn't flower. This is an Echinocereus rigidissimus. I love this cactus, one of my favorite. And then at the back, these opuntias, these are all Opuntia pina colada, or the color changing flower. Okay, and if you remember in my previous video, I showed you this pop right here. This is an agave runner. Before, I thought it was a runner from that agave Perii over there, the artichoke agave. But now that it is bigger, I realized that this actually is a runner of this Ferdinandi Regis agave. And I will show you guys how I found out. Let me see if I can get closer. Do you see the white markings, the white lines? That is a sign that this one is actually a baby of that Ferdinandi Regis agave. the distinct markings clearly tells me that it is a Ferdinandi Regis agave pop. Finally, we are in another section of my backyard, and I must admit I waited 3 days after I shot the previous garden because I waited for this Trichocereus flying saucer to open so I can show it to you. This is one of the largest flowers that I've seen in a cactus. Trichocereus flying saucer, a very good hybrid. This one is colored pink with a yellow in the center. So it's a combination of pink with yellow lines emerging from the center. It is very fragrant. This section is the newest cactus garden that I just recently made. I did a video on how I did this part of the garden. If you haven't seen it, I will put a link up on this screen and also below this video. This right here is an Echinopsis rainbow burst. It bloomed yesterday. So in this section of the garden, all of them are either Echinopsis or Trichocereus cactus, because my aim for this section is to have a flower bed in this section. So all of these are excellent bloomers, so that is what I am aiming for. It is under a 50% shade cloth, so that is protection for upcoming summer. And then on the right, this is another garden that I made a year and a half ago. Okay, so it has survived the winter, summer, so it's going on its second year. And this white flower here is another Trichocereus, a grandiflorus hybrid, no specific ID. This tall, green, spiny cactus is an Eve's needle cactus. This one grows into a tree, so I'm hoping it will provide shade as it grows in this section. I had to tie it because whenever it gets very windy, it bends. So I'm afraid it might, break. So in the meantime, until the trunk gets fatter, I will keep it tied. And then this in front, the white cactus is an Espostoa lanata, or the old Peruvian man cactus. That is a Mammillaria spinosissima. This in front is a baby Rita. This is like a miniature version of the Santa Rita opuntia. An agave Victoria reginae right here. Very nice and very compact. I have here more Trichocereus. Trichocereus are very hardy. That's why I can put them in my garden. This is a rainbow giant. And then behind it is another Mexican fence post. Those are Mammillarias. I'm surprised they're still alive. And then a Ferrocactus glossescens right here. And a golden barrel. And then behind it is an opuntia that is growing very fast. I might have to trim the pads of that soon. So this is another section or another cactus garden of mine. This wraps up my spring cactus collection update, and if you've seen part 1 and seen this video, I thank you so much. Give me a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll talk to you again next time. Bye everyone, and cheers!